All right, so for strength training tonight, everyone just needs light and heavy weights. We're going to use our light weights for part of our balance set. So please have that. Sorry, I just heard a sound I've never heard before on the iPad. And then nothing, no bands, no anything else, just our weights. So let's get started with some walkouts. You know what I'm talking about. Let's start with really good posture. Hi, Chia, you gonna say hi to everybody? Forward fold, come on down. So your hands are getting as close to your toes as feels comfortable. You're in that forward fold, and then walk your fingers out until you're in a down dog. In that down dog position, your heels are going down and your hips are coming up. And then continue walking out all the way until you're in a tall plank. You can squeeze your glutes. You feel a stretch through your toes, long neck, and then walk your hands back up to your feet. All right, everybody, you know what to do on this one. We're doing 1 full minute here. So start at the top with this great posture, and then the same posture greets you at the bottom when you are in a plank position. All right, it is so good to have you all here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting the weirdest spam emails that say flat belly juice. So anyway, apparently someone's marketing a juice, a water, a something for flat bellies, and they've targeted me, and I am no. Anyway, I haven't opened it, obviously, because there's probably some kind of flat belly like virus for your computer that I definitely don't need to have. But anyway, love these very stupid and ridiculous spams targeting our insecurities. Let me go. Okay, 10 more seconds. Hi, Carolyn. Glad you're here. All right, we got you and Nora from hotel rooms or Airbnb. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to go with what you have. We're finishing up our last walk out here. So standing up to tall. And then if you have a lightweight, grab it. If you don't, that's fine too. We're going to do our runner's march. So we're just going to stand with this marching position. If you've got a weight, you can get 5 to probably, for some of you, 20 pounds is still light, getting up here. So I want this to feel like it's working here. So our core is not this, it's not our stomach here. It's sort of hips to shoulders. So this, we want to stay nice and still. You can see I'm not swaying side to side. I see some of you doing a little whoop, whoop. If you're doing that, your weight is probably a little too heavy. So drop down and weight. We're going to do this side, and then we're going to do our other hand in 3, 2. All right, let's go to the other side. Perfect. Hi, Victoria. Glad you're here. All right. So nice tall posture. I want you just thinking about this is engaged. If someone came to your house and punched you, that would be a bad day, but you would just bounce right off like a Marvel character and it would be amazing. All right, so 5 more seconds on this side. And then we're gonna switch to a squat to press. So let's keep our weight. Again, something super light so we can squat down and then chest press out, come back in and directly back up, squeezing glutes at the top, making sure shoulders are back. So I wanna make sure we're avoiding this one. So go ahead, everybody. Come on down. Press. Hi, Deb. Hi, Eliana. Glad you're here. All right. So at the bottom of that move, we're holding for a little bit. While you're in that hold position, maybe you can get down just a centimeter more. Feel it? Come on out and back up. If this is hurting your low back, check your position. It's easy to get into a big arch here. We don't want that. So trying to keep spine neutral. It might feel almost like you're a little bit tucked. All right, 3, 2, stop there, stop there. All right, keep your weight. We're gonna do side lunges to one side where we come to the side and just tap our weight down. So everything should be pretty light. So the side that you're tapping is the opposite that you're holding. So join me here. All right, so I've got 5 pounds, but I know for many of you, 10 pounds is good. Now, I know we do these sometimes in our set, and that might be a 25 or 30 pound, but for this one, something light is great. Still warming up. All right. And 5 more seconds. Then we're going to switch to the other side. Good. 3, 2. All right, so switch hands and switch sides for your leg. And then we're coming down. You can see I'm not fully touching the ground. If you want to, that's great. And it might be, especially if you have a kettlebell, that your weight can touch without you going too low. Go as deep as feels good. This trailing leg, you should feel stretched there. Should feel awesome. All right. Good. And now we've got 5 more seconds to go. And then we're going to get on the ground and do some glute lifts. 3, 2, all right, join me on the ground. So while we're on the ground, we're going to be on our backs. Our glute lifts, if you want to watch it before you get down, sorry, we're going to be in that runner position and we're going to lift and lower. So we're going to have one side at a time, but our legs going to be in that runner position. All right, so once you see what I'm doing, come on ahead and join me on your back. One leg is up and the other leg is doing the work. So whichever leg is planted, that foot down, we're on 20 more seconds here. So you push through that heel, squeeze the glute and back down. Good. All right, so you should really feel that glute in isolation because it should be the only thing that's working. Don't push up with your back, squeeze with your glute. 3, 2, all right, switch your position, other heel's down, whole foot's down. Let's go, push and relax, good. So you're aiming to get no bend in your waist. So as you are laying down, there's a bend from your leg to your waist. You're trying to lift up with your glute and extend that hip fully. See if you can. Keep going here. 5 more seconds. And then we're going to stand up and do some balance work in 3, 2. Nicely done. All right. So our balance work we do with also lighter weights, which for some of you might be pretty heavy looking. Doesn't matter. The first thing we're going to do is single leg shoulder press. We do these often, but what we're going to do is we're going to add a kickback. So we're going to stand with this leg up. We're going to shoulder press and then kick back. Shoulder press and then kick back. All right, so let's see it. Start on one side. All right, let's see what you guys found in your hotel rooms. All right, Carolyn's got a pretty light looking thing of laundry detergent. Depends how full it is, so you'll never know. All right, compared to the weight you use at home, it's pretty light. Let's see, Nora, you've got a water bottle, but good. So this is for balance. So if you don't have tons of weight, it's totally fine because you are just trying to make sure you're not falling down. You're lifting up, kicking back. Good. 3, 2, nicely done. All right, all right. Let's go to the other side. Oh, Victoria, you have a special guest today. Nicely done. All right, so let's go. Shoulder press and kick back. Good. All right. If you're feeling like, oh my God, this is impossible, I'm going to break my face falling down, you can just do knee up and shoulder press, holding that if that's easier. And then the last thing is if you're really falling over, you can put one finger just near the wall. So if you need to use it for balance, great. All right, but adding that kickback if you can. We've been doing these for a while, so I know you've got good balance. 3, 2, all right. And then the last thing for our balance, we've been doing single leg deadlift varieties, kind of hinges almost all the time. So we're going to do that now. So you can either use 2 weights, get this heavier if you've been doing these a lot. If these are hard for you, I want you to have 1 weight in the opposite leg that you're standing on. So you've got your planted leg, you've got 2 weights, that looks easy. If you have just 1 in the opposite side of your planted leg, you're coming down. You want to see if you can get even with the ground, parallel, and then back up. All right, join me everybody. So coming down, holding that parallel, and then back up. Trying not to put your other foot down if you don't have to. So the goal is that all of these are like 30-second single leg holds. That's the best. Good. Yeah, keep that foot up. If your weight's too light, you can practice by you can make it harder by closing your eyes or maybe one eye, throwing off your balance a little bit. 3, 2, all right, let's go other side. So you may need to switch your weight. If you have 2, you're good, and let's go for it. So come on down. Good. It's cool if you get down and you're like, whoa, to sort of give yourself a second, make sure you've got your balance, and then come back up. All right. Good. So last weekend had some athletes running the Cascade Crest 100, San Francisco Marathon, the Beaverhead 100. If any of you are watching this, you're not supposed to be working out yet. All right. Just putting that out there. 3, 2. All right. Done, done, done. Okay. Balance, complete, unlocked. That is something you guys can do every day. So if it's something, if you're thinking of how could I warm up for my runs, those are good ones. Okay, so first set, we are going to do pop cleans. Now, for those of you who don't have a heavy weight, the pop clean is often done with a kettlebell. I'm going to show it with my dumbbell, where you come up and you're popping that weight. Now, the trick is that you can have a weight that's too heavy for you just to pull up this way because you're coming up and pushing with your hips. So for me, I could not take 45 pounds and just lift like that, but I can do a pop clean with that much weight because I'm pushing with my hips. So if you don't have a good weight for that, then what I want you to do is come down and then pop your feet together and then reset, come down, pop your feet together. So you can still do that with the weight, just hold it down. Let's get started. So if you've got a heavy weight, dumbbell or kettlebell, let's go. It's between your feet, butts back, boom, pop it up. Good. It should feel pretty weightless between here and here, but that first initial pop is where you're really getting your hips. So this is a power move. We're doing a power sport here. Yes, good, good, good. Okay, let's see what we got here. Kettlebells. Okay, just checking no one's using their cat. Can't do that. All right. And 8 more seconds. We're following the same pattern as we did last week, where we're going to do our power move, and then we're going to actually jump. So stop there. Now, for those of you who aren't jumping, if you are jumping, we're doing squat jumps. If you're not jumping, you're coming down to a calf raise. You're going to come up totally as high as you can on your calves and back down. If you're jumping, join me right now. We've got 15 seconds. Jump squats. Start low and end low. These should not hurt your knees, not ever. The knee is coming down with a soft landing, taking the landing like it's no big deal. And 3, 2, and nicely done. Okay, so we did the jump squats. Now we're going to get on the ground and do some hamstring holds. If you don't know what those are, let me show you the right position. The hamstring hold is a little bit like a glute raise, but we're in a more extended leg position. So you can see my feet are pointing up. So I'm going to push down with my heels and really feel this in my hamstring. So everyone join me. Go ahead, get on the ground. Join me when you're ready. Your back should be relaxed. I want you to think about where your ribs are. So let your ribs relax down. They should not be flared up to the ceiling. So feel where they are. You could try by flaring them up to the ceiling, pushing them up, and then push it down. Feel really good on your back. Extend those legs. Let's go. Push through your hamstring. And you can decide. We've got 25 more seconds. You can push up and down. You can just hold, or you can do a little march where you're letting go and just having one foot go at a time. That's probably the hardest one. So you decide what your hamstrings can handle, how fit you are, how much you've been doing this. So you could be super fit, but if you've never done these, you might be a hamstrung tomorrow. Haha, dumb joke. Sorry about that. Okay, 5 more seconds. And look at that. You're done. All right. I'll show you those varieties again before we get back down. So hopefully for those of you without weights in the Airbnbs and hotels, that's a great one because you don't need it. You can really challenge yourself. All right. So now we're back to those squats. So if you are seeing what I'm doing and it's confusing or you feel like you're not doing it right, absolutely do this as a goblet squat. Goblet squat, you're just holding the weight the whole time, coming down and right back up. If you're ready for those pop cleans, your weight is heavy, let's go for it. So coming up, pop. Good. If it doesn't feel like your weight is weightless between about here and here, then you might be doing it wrong. It's hard for me to fix these over the screen. I see a lot of really good ones and some that are I'm not sure because they're so light. They look like your weight is very light. So it might be easier to do some goblet squats, but you decide. All right, 3, 2, excellent. Okay, put that right down. So we're going right from our power move to our really power move, our jumping move here. Again, if you're not jumping, please don't. If it hurts your ankles, body, people underneath you, don't do it. Otherwise, let's go. Squat, jump. We're doing just 15 seconds. So if these feel good, you can raise your tempo, or if they start feeling hard, you can take a break between. Good, there's 3, 2, nice jumps. All right, I love it when I go from seeing people's face to then whoop, off the screen. That's what I'm looking for. All right, and now back to hamstrings. I promised I'd show you the varieties. So the varieties are here. You can just push, lift and lower, or you can do one leg at a time. Once you are ready to go, feel like you know what you're doing, come on down. All right, you're on. There's 30 seconds. In this 30 seconds, you can lift and lower the whole time. You can come up and hold. You can do the marching, or you can do some combination of all of those. What I want you to do is really feel this in your hamstrings only. This is isolating, but I don't want you to break your hamstrings. All right, 10 more seconds. Good work here. And 3, 2, all right, sweet. So that was 2 times through. We're doing this one more time before we go to our second set. Okay. As you can see, she is still quite shy and not really moving. She just goes from places that she has her base to the next base. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's get ready for our squats. Goblet squats start here. Pop clean start down here. Let's go for it. Nicely done. All right, those pop cleans, I don't want you looking down and definitely not behind you because then you're in a weird curved back position. So keep looking up. Nicely done. All right. Glutes are tight at the top. Good, don't forget breathing. I know you probably aren't, but 3, 2, nicely done. Okay, if you want to make these jump squats harder, you can have your weight down below the belt so they're nowhere near your teeth. All right, 3, 2, let's do it. Go for it. Jump squats. Doing 15 seconds here. If you like to jump squat with your arms up, don't use the weight because then it's not as satisfying. All right, 3, 2, done. Okay, last time through with our hamstrings here. So come on down. For some of you, if your butt is not lifting off the ground when you do these, that's okay if you still feel in your hamstring. All right, 3, 2, let's do it. Pushing through your heel. Good, you can do a hold, you can do a lift and hold and lower. You can just do a lift and lower. Do the thing that makes it feel like this is the appropriate amount of work for me to not be broken tomorrow. We are using our primary sport as the thing that we do the most. So that's our running, biking, and then hiking. This is accessory. Don't break yourself doing that. 3, 2, all right. Done, done, done. All right, perfect. We're ready for our second set. So last time we did lunges with then jump lunges. We're doing the same thing, but today we're up in the game for our lunges. So there's going to be a couple of combinations for you to do. The hardest way to do our lunges is to have the weight overhead, because then we need to control it through our shoulder. We need that stability, the whole core, and then come down to it. Now, for a lot of you though, that's not heavy enough. So I want you to have a weight down if you're advanced. All right, so for those of you, you know who you are, you've been doing this a long time, you can do heavy weights, something below, something above. Okay, not like this, 5 pounds is not count, too small, but you know what we're doing. If you start these and you feel like, oh, I'm not an athlete at all because I'm like, whoa, then I want you to hold the weight here. So try a couple, and if that overhead is not working, I want you to have it as an offset. All right, so everyone first, let's stand nice and tall. We've got our weight overhead, feeling strong. Okay, let's step back with the same side, our weight's overhead, and here we go. Good. So if you're feeling strong, you can have a second weight below. Awesome. Okay, we're keeping this weight up. Now, the biggest mistake people make is that the arm starts going, and then you're wearing the weight like a small crown. Don't do that. All right, we got our weight is right next to our bicep. 3, 2, all right. Switch sides. All right, so same thing. Different configurations for different people are going to work. Let's go for it. So we're stepping back. Good. So check your weight. Your knuckles should be facing up to the ceiling. Then we know your wrist is in a good position. If your weight is back, whoa, that's going to really make your shoulder sore. Okay, I just knocked myself over doing that. You want to have that weight right up above, bicep over your ear. Looking really controlled here. Nicely done. That looks good. All right, we've got just 5 more seconds. 3, 2, perfect. All right. So for those of you not jumping, what you doing? Forward lunges, because we haven't done those yet. Those are different stimulus for your knees. And if those bother you, then you can just hang out for the 15 seconds and take a break. But if you're jumping, then we are doing jumping lunges from the side. Looks like this. Join me, whichever one you're doing. Honestly, if you're deciding to take a break for these 15 seconds, great, good for you. And no one knows anyway. I'm not telling. All right, and 3, 2, nicely done. Okay, I feel like we're just gonna call this jumping for joy because everyone looks very happy while they're doing this. All right, so done with the jumping lunges. We're gonna do a plank. Plank with a glute lift. You can do it as a low or high plank, whichever is more comfortable. So from a high plank, I want you to squeeze this glute, come back down. Squeeze the other glute, come back down. No wiggling your hips. Shoulders are super flat, not moving at all. Everyone go ahead, get in position. You might be better off to start with a sort of wider foot position, see how that goes, and let's start. We're doing 40 seconds. You are on. You want to do a low plank, works the same way. While you're doing that lift and hold, should be about a 3-second hold. Think about making sure your ears and shoulders aren't all buddies together, having secrets. Your neck should be nice and long, so your ears and shoulders are away from each other. Awesome. You're already at 25 seconds. So I said 40, you're almost there. Now it's just 10 seconds to go. So keep strong here for the last couple seconds. Good breathing. And 3, 2, heck yeah. All right. So back to the overhead lunges. Now that you know what to do, I don't have to explain it as much. You see what the options are. If you're really having trouble holding this overhead or you feel like your knees collapsing in, I want you to bring that weight down. It feels a lot lighter when it's here. All right, so coming up, let's do it. 30 seconds per side. When I say swap, we're gonna just swap right to the other side and no break. Nicely done. Good, I see everyone modifying it for their use. That's perfect. As long as you're not letting this arm come down, keep it up, nice and extended. No weak runner arms. We got strong runner arms. 3, 2, go ahead and switch your side. Right into it. Let's go right into it. Excellent. Good work. Okay. Nice and tall. At the top, if you're starting to get tired, you can just hang out here for a sec, take an extra second, and then go back. We are at 6 seconds to go. And 3, 2, nicely done. All right. So now you're either doing forward lunges, jumping lunges with me, or hanging out for 15 seconds. Let's go. Nice. All right. Oh, this is also a good time, Heather, good reminder. If you are hanging around and you have PT, you want to do that instead of one of our exercises, that's awesome. All right, 3, 2, nicely done. I don't mean hanging around, standing up. No one's doing that. But if you're like, oh, I think that one might be painful, and you know you have some PT to do, get it done while we're here. All right, planks, let's do this. We're almost there. All right, if you're finding these planks where you lift your leg tough, like you're wiggling all over the place, hold the plank, no legs up. Here we go, 40 seconds, starts now. All right, so push the ground away, really push, and then long neck. You're looking over your hands, so your neck is neutral, you're not looking up or back at your feet. You should be able to balance something on your back. If you can't, I want you just holding that plank, not doing the movement part. You don't need to do that moving part if you're doing it poorly. All right, there's 10 more seconds. So if you feel like, wow, my plank's turning to bunk, then just lay down and join us back for our last round in 5 seconds. Otherwise, 3, 2, nicely done. Okay, so just like that, we're at the end of our second and last set with our last round. So we're going to get back to our overhead lunges. All right. Got overhead lunges. So everyone standing up nice and tall, making sure no curve here. So I want you to think about keeping tucked, tight glutes as you come up with that weight. Here we go. 30 seconds. Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to be volunteering at the Oregon 200. So a 200-mile run. I think many of you know that this is happening, but if not, now you do. It's happening at the end of August. And I'm going to be at mile 40, which is also mile 160. So as you can imagine, it's open for like 3 days. There's a lot of volunteer spots, and I'd love to see you with me. 3, 2, all right, other side. So anyway, especially if you are available on Sunday or Monday, come on down. Of that weekend, if you want details, just ask me. But if you've ever thought, what do people look like when they run 40 miles or 160 miles? You can find the answer yourself by coming out. It's in Oak Ridge, so there is a drive, but there's camping right there. So should be fun. I'll be there. Snacks, trails for running. Sarah's gonna be there. It's on our call. Good times had by all, I think. 3, 2, all right. Anyway, it's about August 23rd, 4th, 5th, those kind of dates. I might get it a little wrong. There's so many dates, I can't exactly remember. Okay, jumping or hanging or PT, let's go. Good. If you're not jumping, front lunges or any PT you might have, good. All right. This is the last intensive part before we get to our planks and then roll onto our backs. 3, 2, nicely done. Okay. Whew. Take a breather, get down on the ground, low plank or a tall plank, whichever it is, no saggies, but you're pushing the ground away. All right, 3, 2, let's go for it. So the last 40-second plank here. Making sure you're breathing. All right, maybe you're thinking of like, ooh, what food could we make in the middle of the woods? Yeah, good. I'd love to see you out there. I'll stop saying it now, but Again, if you want info, you can just send me an email. You know where to find me. All right, we are almost there. We're past the halfway. Let's just do 10 more seconds here. Not let's just do that. Makes it sound like I'm cutting it short. You're done. All right, sit down, sit down. Normally I say flop down on your back, but let's sit down here, looking out at the camera or just out at the world. We're gonna do some hip work here. So while we sit, let's roll our shoulders back and plant our hands behind us. So now our back should be nice and tall, planting our feet in front, hip distance apart, and then you can drop down into some windshield wipers. So this gets our hip moving in all the directions. Good. Now we're gonna change this. Let's see if we can do it in the look ma no hands variety. So now we're up front. See if we can switch to the other side. No hands behind us. Hey, if you need to use your hands behind you, totally fine. If you can do it without, awesome. Maybe it's a funny party trick you can do. And then the last thing we're gonna do, see if we can bring it up to full hip extension and back down. So if you have knee issues, don't even try, because then you're just smashing your knee on the ground. Don't need to do that. If you've got knee things, do something else, or just stay, keep it low. All right, one more on each side. Oh, I so appreciate you guys coming tonight. So nice having all of you. And have a seat. Legs extended. Now you can flop on your back and do whatever stretches feel good. Let your back go. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a high five. Give your laundry detergent a high five, whatever it is. And it was so good to have you here. I'll stop saying that now, but say hi if you want to.